Welcome to this edition of IE News.
On today's show, we will highlight our theater department here at LBCC.
This includes a spotlight on one of our talented theater directors.
We will also showcase a very special appearance by a Broadway star here in our very own theater.
And last but definitely not least, we're bringing you an exclusive interview with Superintendent and President of Long Beach City College, President Eloy Ortiz Oakley.
Stay tuned for all this and much more fun here on IE News.
And now for our first interview, Catherine Evangelista sits down with Professor Gregory Mortensen, who spoke with us about the theater department and the play he's directing called Moby Dick Rehearsed.
Hi, I'm Catherine Evangelista, and I'm very excited to have our guest with us today. He's a professor here at Long Beach City College at the Department of Theater, Professor Gregory Mortensen. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background and how long you've been working here?
Sure. I started here as an adjunct in 1995, and a dear friend of mine was running the theater arts department at the time, David Herman. And prior to that, I've been a professional actor since 1977, worked regionally across the country, and went to Juilliard School, fortunate enough to go through that program and such. And then just literally fell into education just as a happy accident. And I found I really liked it. And it's like what we used to, so we call in the industry, it's the perfect day job, because it still allows me time to direct outside and do certain acting projects, so it's great.
Good.
Yeah.
And I know you've directed a lot of plays here on campus. What should we expect for this coming year?
What I like to do is switch it up. I mean, contrast the comedy, drama, some, shades of gray, gets a little bit of both. This one is called Moby Dick Rehearsed, and it was written by the great Orson Welles, who did, of course, Citizen Kane and all that, and he had a real heart in theater as well. And what it is about an acting company that's meeting to rehearse King Lear, and they're waiting for the director to show up, and when the character of the director shows, he says, "We're not doing Lear. We're going to do the scripts I gave you of Moby Dick." And so what they do is they start rehearsing it, and then they start doing it. So it's a complete morphing that takes place. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
Great actor piece.
Good.
And I'm lucky enough to get Richard Kinsey. Richard Kinsey was an actor and has been an actor over the years I've worked with off and on. Terrific guy. And he was the original Javert in Les Mis on Broadway. So he's just, he's got everything the role could need, and terrific actor. So
great. And how did you get him?
Bribery, essentially. What do they say? Follow the money. I was able to get through the foundation a grant to pay him as a professional, as a guest artist. They call them guest artist contracts.
Okay.
And the idea was that the students had this opportunity to work with a great professional, and they're just having a blast. I mean, they love it. And he's going to do a benefit on the Friday, May 2nd, if I can plug it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's going to be singing a medley of Broadway hits in the auditorium, and we'll be getting information out and posters and flyers and such. So it's really cool.
Now, you said the foundation. I know a lot of people may not know about that. Can you talk in more detail about what that is?
Foundation was designed to basically, they beat the drum for money, to put it bluntly. They go out and they contact corporations, certain government loans and grants, huge grants. And the fine arts is a branch of them that handles all the performing and visual arts and such. And they were generous enough to give us that. So, yeah, great.
So what are you and the students doing to prepare for the upcoming show?
The standard is always, the audition process. We cast. They sign up for the class because the production is a class. And then we set a night rehearsal schedule, and you literally break the script down into scenes, just like in film or anything else. And they have their roles, they have their obligations, they know what's due at certain deadlines, and you rehearse it and get it down.
Good.
And so right now they're in the phase of, they're still holding scripts, they're working it out, but we have all the design of the set is taped on the floor, so they know spacing. It's
Nice.
good, yeah.
Okay, and I know that you've appeared on, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, way back
Sure,
then.
yeah, back when the earth was still cooling, yeah.
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 What advice would you give to, aspiring actors and actresses who want to get into, possibly in the acting world?
That's a great question. What I can only say is what experience teaches you, and if you can, as a performer, doesn't matter male, female, watch those that are truly great, and try to emulate the qualities and see what they do. And that's the art, of course, and the artistic side, and you've got to feel a passion for it. But on the other side, they do call it show business.
Right.
And it's not show art. And show business is all about learning how to interview, learning how to audition, learning what type you are, and truly
Right.
being objective. Inside you may have beats the heart of Hamlet, but on the outside you look like some character from the Wizard of Oz. All right,
Right.
so you have to
You have
some
to be character type for
objectivity,
sure, yeah.
and then train. I can't tell you how much training does make a difference.
Okay.
The best analogy I can use is if you take someone who plays piano. Well, if they can only play one note on that keyboard, that gets pretty old and boring pretty fast.
Right.
The more variety you can play, the more characters you can do, the longer you'll work.
Now you say one thing that's good is to watch, people.
Absolutely. Watch the greats.
Who have you watched that influenced you?
I emulated Peter O'Toole. I thought he was awesome. Anthony Hopkins, I've known since I was a kid, his work. Certainly a lot of great American. Burt Lancaster was a great American film actor. James Cagney, Jack Lemmon, just to name a few. And I was always told that since high school, our drama teacher said, you have to be a thief. You've got to steal from other actors. Just make sure you steal from the best.
That's
Don't
a
steal.
good one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Steal from the best.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, can you just tell our viewers again when and where,
I certainly can. Long Beach City College Studio Theater, known as the Black Box. We open Moby Dick Rehearsed on April 10th and play through the 19th. 2 weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 o'clock performances with a 2 o'clock Sunday matinee, followed by the closing weekend, same schedule. Go online to our website at www.lbcc.edu Theater Arts. Click on that and you can buy tickets online at a discount. And it's $2 more, I believe, at the window. So come forward, love to see you.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you, appreciate it. This is great.
Thank you. And please be sure to buy your tickets. And again, thank you to Professor Mortensen for talking with us today. I'm Catherine Evangelista with IE News.
Coming up next, after this commercial break, we will go back to Catherine, who speaks with a special guest performing artist. Make sure you stay tuned, you don't want to miss it.
Do you feel lost? Are you unsure of the direction your life is heading? Or are you stuck at a dead-end job with no opportunity for advancement? The time is now to live your life and to follow your dreams. Filming, directing, producing, reporting. Your future is now.
Hi, I'm Catherine Evangelista, and today we have Richard Kinsey here, who is a special artist performing in the Moby Dick play. Also, you may know him as Javert in Les Mis, and he also is an award-winning actor for supporting. So thank you so much for stopping by with us today.
My pleasure.
Great. Now, can you tell us more about your character in Moby Dick Rehearsed?
Well, let's see. Captain Ahab is he's a multifaceted character. He's obviously one of the greatest, characters of literature because, as Moby Dick is, probably one of the top American books, if not, international books of all time.
Right.
But Ahab, it was interesting because you read all the, you're reading through the book, you're going through the text, and you're reading about this interesting character who seems, well, driven to say the least. So I decided, well, I'd like to read a psychological profile of him. So I was reading, fortunately you can go online and read, psychological profiles of characters, because analysts or whatever will say, well, let's look at this one today, let's look at that one. So
Right.
a group of them talked about him and basically called him a monomaniac with paranoid tendencies.
Oh, wow.
So
So that's going to be an interesting
Yeah.
character.
interesting guy,
Wow.
interesting guy to dive into for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you think that role is different from playing all the other roles you've played throughout your career?
Well, it's interesting. I think virtually with all of my roles, with the exception of Javert, he probably stands alone. But the parallel, of course, between somebody like Captain Ahab and Javert, aside from the fact that they both wear very, very long coats and top hats, I might add, is that they both are obsessive personalities.
Okay.
And whereas, Captain Ahab is obsessed, of course, with the whale and what the whale represents, essentially. So Javert is obsessed with Valjean, and I think essentially what Valjean represents. So it's an interesting parallel of character. The difference, I think, with Ahab is Ahab tends to be quite a bit more, he's out there. He talks a lot more. He talks about his process that he's going through at the time, and he also has moments where he decides to go mad on stage.
So do you have more monologues in that, or?
Oh yes, I have quite a
lot.
few monologues and scenes which uphold that. But there are lucid times too, of course. He has to be able to command a ship, and
Okay.
you know.
And now, what was it like wearing the costume of Javert, though? Like the full-on costume with the makeup and things like that.
It was intense. I mean, it was very heavy, and you know, it was always wool, and big boots and this huge heavy coat, a multitude of hats, and of course they had to fit you out, and they had to put wigs on you, wig caps, and the whole 9 yards. I mean, I'll tell you two quick stories if you'd like.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, when I was doing Les Miserables in Africa, my daughter was not quite a year old, and the first time our daughter saw me walking down a hall in the makeup at the theater, she started to cry.
Oh no.
So our makeup man, Blaine, said, Rich, let's take you in here and we'll make you up right in front of Zoe. So Zoe was sitting there with her mommy, and Blaine says, see, this is your daddy. You know, and he slowly but surely does all this. And then finally, you know, he goes, see, still your daddy. Say hello, daddy. Hello, Zoe. You know, and she's like, you know.
Aww.
But of course, then at the end of it, I looked at her and I said, hi, honey. And she goes, not my daddy. So the
That's
makeup
funny.
really was, it was transforming. It really
Good.
made me look different.
And you said that you toured in Africa. What other places were you able to tour, and how was that like?
Well, I've toured, let's see. I was in Africa, I worked in Singapore, I worked in China with it. I was in Australia, started in Australia in the international tour. I've worked in Canada with it. Of course, I toured all over the United States. I was in several of the nationals, and I was on Broadway. And San Francisco. I was in the original San Francisco company, so it was amazing, actually.
And who's your biggest inspiration?
Oh my. Well, I think honestly, I mean, speaking now, I would say that my wife and daughter are my greatest inspirations.
Yeah.
You know, they are the lights of my life, as it were. Both my parents obviously impacted my life tremendously, because my mom said, you can do anything, just put your mind to it. And she was a singer herself. She was a lyric soprano.
Okay.
So I started imitating her at a very young age. And my dad was a wonderful cartoonist, and his creativity and his ability to, you know, always display what he was doing was, you know, quite an inspiration to me growing up. I was always blown away by it.
And we know that you're also into cartoons and illustrations. You also have published illustrations.
Yes.
How do you think that art has impacted your acting, or do they intertwine in some way for you?
Well, I think that I think it's really symbiotic. Yeah, the intertwine. That's a great word. Yeah, the intertwine. Because when you're on stage, obviously you're going through all these various characters. You're going through various things. You're seeing things, how it's put together, and all the rest of it. And essentially, when you're illustrating, you're creating a world as well.
True, that's true. I never looked at it that way, actually, so that's really cool.
Yeah, you're creating a world, you're creating characters that inhabit that world. So, I mean, I'll be drawing sometimes, and I'll be trying to come up with the voices that I think that these things would say, or whatever. Try to, really jump into that world and see it. And I think when you're on stage, it's like in this show, for instance, in Moby Dick, we talk about, there's a great line in there where I invite before I become Ahab, I'm the producer of the show, and this is our company, and I'm talking about, you must, put your thoughts upon the stage and see it, see the whaling boat, see the whales, see everything. And that's what we do. That's what we're doing in theater. We're inviting you to come in and have a look at this amazing magic. Because obviously, I don't know, maybe we could lower a giant whale, I don't know. But we're asking people to see this whale. And if we've done our job, if we're doing our job, you will see that whale in your mind's eye. And I think that kind of, that once again, that dovetails into what I do as an illustrator too.
So how long have you been preparing for your role in Moby Dick Rehearsed? Or what are you guys doing as well to prepare for that?
Well, I personally started preparing for this role back towards the end of January.
Oh, wow.
I started reading everything, started learning the role, trying to, obviously get the text down and everything, because it is immense, and you have to. And we started rehearsing a few weeks ago as a group, and we're already, amazingly, we have blocked the entire show. The first act was run last night. We're running Act 2 tonight. We'll just keep going. It's amazing how everybody's really carrying their weight and doing it. It's exciting.
Good. So we know you're performing in the play, but we also know that you're going to be doing a benefit. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. I will not be dancing at this benefit.
Oh.
Kidding. It's basically a night of. It will contain a lot of musical theater, mostly musical theater. In the first half of it, I'll probably do some kind of villains and heroes things.
Nice.
Where you'll hear, you'll hear stuff from Camelot. That's traditional musical theater, not a lot of the real new stuff. And then I'll definitely do the Les Mis stuff, the Javert stuff, and namely Stars and probably The Suicide. And then as we proceed onward, I will invite my lovely wife, who is a phenomenal singer, to come out there and sing a song or two of her own, and we'll sing some duets.
Now, does your daughter get into any acting? Is she following your footsteps?
Well, it's always pretty cool. she's a violinist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's a wonderful little violinist. She's in college now, and she's a mus ed major. And when she was, 6 or 7 years old, we were, she has a gorgeous voice. She really does. And she's extremely good at mimicry, and she's got a great, sense of comedy about her. But she came up to her mother and I, and basically she said, "You two are the singers. I will be the violinist. Thank you very much." So that's what she's doing.
Great. So as for the benefit, where could people get the tickets, and when is it?
It is on May 2nd.
Okay.
And the tickets, well, I know they're available here at the school. I don't know the phone number, and I don't know the website. Whoops. But,
that's okay. We'll research that for you, so
all right,
no problem.
Great. I don't have it on the tip of my tongue, but I know it's you can do everything here, and it's for a great cause, I think.
Great. And can you tell us more about the cause?
Well, it's just to raise money for the arts here, and
nice.
For the work that's being done, and it's important.
Good. Well, thank you so much for talking with us and taking out the time to for us to get to know you as well. So.
It is an honor, my pleasure.
All right, well, be sure to watch Richard Kinsey in Moby Dick Rehearsed, and if you would also buy the tickets for the benefit as well. I'm Catherine Evangelista with IE News.
Thanks, Catherine, for those 2 in-depth interviews. Coming up next, after this commercial break, we have Jason Gastrich, who speaks with our superintendent president. Stay tuned.
Now that I got your attention, do you want to make movies or be a radio DJ? Yeah! I thought so. Well, come check out Long Beach City College's radio and TV department. Hey, stop playing with those buddies and get to class, young man. No, not that class. Here at LBCC, we have hands-on training, so ditch that boring lecture. Here we'll teach you state-of-the-art equipment, and in no time, you'll have the right tools to make your very own movie. Don't want to make movies? What's wrong with you? Well, you could be a radio DJ and learn all those crazy soundy stuff. Interested? Then check out our website or call. Look at you now. It looks like you're on your way to being the next Steven Spielberg.
Welcome back to IE News. Now we have Jason Gastrich, who interviews Superintendent President Eloy Ortiz Oakley regarding new plans on construction and the future of Long Beach City College.
Hi, I'm Jason Gastrich, and this is IE News. Today I am interviewing Superintendent President Eloy Oakley. How are you doing, Mr. Oakley?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
How long have you been the president at Long Beach City College?
Well, I became president in January 2007, so it's been nearly 7.5 years now.
Great, and you're the superintendent also.
Yes.
What are your duties as superintendent and president?
So, Long Beach City College is part of the Long Beach Community College District. So we're a district and we're a college. So we have a governing board for the district. So I'm the superintendent for the district. So that means I have all the responsibilities of running the district, all the contracting, payroll, all of those functions, as well as being the president of the college. So that's why there's the 2 titles, because they're 2 different functions. One is sort of the chief executive officer of a corporation, and the other is the actual president of an academic institution.
Is there a term like the president for the United States, or can you leave the presidency whenever you decide?
Well, I have the governing board of the district, the 5 elected trustees. That board is my boss. So I have a contract with the district, and they're responsible for me as their only employee. So my contract is right now, my term goes through 2017. I can leave, I can decide to resign, the board can decide to fire me. So either could happen, but for now, my contract goes to 2017, and it can be renewed beyond that. So there's no limit to how long I can be president. It's strictly up to the Board of Trustees.
Well, when you're not working at the college, what kind of things do you like to do on the side for fun? Do you have any special interests?
Well, when I'm not working at the college, I'm usually working at the college. So, the job really is a 24/7 job. I love representing Long Beach City College. I have a chance to represent the college in the community. But when I'm not doing that, I'm with my kids. I'm enjoying a time with friends and family and following up on politics. I'm sort of a political junkie. So that's usually what I'm doing, reading the paper, relaxing. Or just spending time with my kids.
Well, what would you say to prospective students, kids and their families that are thinking about coming to Long Beach City College or college in general?
Well, first of all, I think everyone should consider attending a college somewhere, whether a community college or thinking about a university. There's such a huge gap in earnings between students who just complete high school and students who complete some sort of post-secondary credential, whether that be a career certificate, an AA, or go on for a bachelor's degree, that I think it's so important that everybody considers getting some sort of degree or certificate beyond high school. And Long Beach City College is really a great place to come. The faculty here are tremendous, the resources are great, the club environment, there's just tremendous opportunities here at Long Beach for students.
Do most of the students that come here come from local high schools or from further away?
Well, a majority of the students come from the local area, whether local area high schools or close by, but we get a lot of students from cities like Bell, Southgate, Huntington Park, all around the greater LA area who come down the 710 freeway to attend Long Beach City College.
Are there any plans to do any more improvements around campus? I know we've done a lot of construction and it's looking really good, but the one across the street is, I'm curious if that is a new parking structure and if that is the last one or if there'll be more things.
Well, the facility that's going up right there on the corner of Carson and Clark is the new Culinary Arts and Math facility. So Culinary Arts program will have a brand new facility that will include a restaurant, demonstration kitchens. There'll also be a new math classrooms and a new math success center built in there. We still have about another 10 years of construction left, so we will continue to renovate several buildings here at the Liberal Arts campus as well as the Pacific Coast campus. That building, the Culinary Arts and Math building, will be one of the last brand new buildings, but we still have a lot of renovation to go.
Do you know when they'll be finished with the construction in the quad over here?
The quad should be back in shape by fall of this year. So we're hoping that by summer everything will be put back to order so that when you get back in the fall it'll be ready to go.
Are there any plans to renovate the Viking food court or make a new food court?
There isn't plans to make a new food court, but the agreement we have with the vendor in there is that the food court will be refurbished. Some of that will start taking place over the spring break. So you'll see, new paint, some installation of some new equipment, refurbishing of the eating area. So that will have a facelift happening by the end of the semester.
We had a winter session here for the first time last winter,
Right.
And did that go well? And do we plan on having another one in the next winter?
This was the very first winter session that Long Beach City College has had, and it went very well. Our classes filled to about 92, 93%, so students really took advantage of the winter intersession. We do plan to offer more winter intersessions going forward. We plan to offer a summer intersession as well, so there'll be many opportunities for students to take classes throughout the entire year.
Do you have a vision for Long Beach City College or a philosophy that you'd like to share?
Well, sure. I mean, our vision for Long Beach City College is to make this college and its processes, the way we teach, the way we support students, to help them prepare to succeed in this ever-changing economic environment. I mean, so many things have changed for students since I was a student. The economy has changed, the nature of looking for and getting good paying jobs has changed, and the need for some sort of college credential is absolutely necessary. So my vision for this college is that we do everything possible to give students a clear pathway to either a career or to transfer, to give them the tools they need to succeed when they get out of college, and to give them the opportunity to be able to navigate the economy, because most students like yourself, you're probably going to change jobs up to 10, 12, 13 times over your lifetime. That wasn't true 20 years ago. Most people had 1 or 2 or 3 jobs. So my job is to ensure that you get the tools you need to be able to really thrive in this economy.
If someone wanted to contact you or your office, what is the best way to do it?
Well, the best way to do it is I have an email address, eoakley@lbcc.edu, which anybody can access that. If somebody wants to meet with me, the best way to do it would be to call my office. My assistant can arrange for a time. It all depends on what the need is. If somebody has a concern about what's going on campus, my office can certainly direct that student to the appropriate place to go to express that concern. But or to just stop me on campus whenever I'm walking around. Many students just kind of stop me on campus and ask me a question. I'm happy to always stop and answer it.
Well, I know I've appreciated you responding to my emails, And I want to thank you a lot for coming in today and doing the interview.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me, Jason, and you do a great job, and I really wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the IE News.
Enjoy your spring break. See you next time.